Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Today I have another bike fresh off the trailer. And in fact, I bought two of these. I bought a 77 and a 78 Kawasaki KZ1000 LTD. Now, obviously, we have something missing right here. But not to worry, the motor is currently in the back of the truck. I have two rolling chassis and two motors. To be honest, right now I'm a little bit overwhelmed. This is a pretty big project for me, and so I'm going to be just working on this, and I think my first goal is to just get one of these ready to go, safe to be out on the road, and just a solid daily driver. And then once I've done one, I will focus on the other one. Now, the other rolling chassis I will introduce in another segment, but what we're going to do right now is just take a look at this one. And this one has been repainted at some point, but the paint isn't terrible. But I'm just going to walk around and kind of look at the bike and what we're starting with. But this is just an introductory video to this KZ1000 LTD project, and I cannot wait to get in on it, to get started and to just bring both of these bikes back to life. And I love resurrecting stuff. This one had been somebody's project. It was a restoration project, so it has been started. But let's take a look right now and we'll see what we have for a starting point. Okay, first off, the wiring harness on this bike has been redone. The paint on the frame has been redone, and it hasn't been cleaned up. It's dusty and dirty here, but it's been taken down to the frame. The frame's been repainted, and some of the reassembly has been redone on this bike. We'll start here at the front wheel. Just taking a look. They did a very nice job of polishing out the aluminum on the aluminum rims. It looks like even the interior has been repainted on these. The forks have been polished, and they need a little bit of love. They need to be polished out more. Brake calipers have been repainted. And things like this with this light rust on it, I will address these bolts and tidy these up and really make them look 100%. So, you know, things like this, when you've redone everything else, stuff like this really stands out in a negative way. But I'm really excited to see it's got these steel braided brake lines on it already. The headlight doesn't look necessarily, the bracket here is not factory correct. I'll have to check into that. But the headlight trim ring and everything looks decent. The forks look decent. I don't really see any weeping at the fork seals, but you know, I don't have it on the road yet. Obviously, this has got a Superbike bend handlebar. I will change that out for something that has a little bit more rise to it than this does. Not too much. I want it sporty, but not quite so low. It's going to make it really tough. If I keep those low bars on it, I'm going to be banging into the tank every time I turn, and I don't want that. I may or may not keep these mirrors. They seem very close set. We'll see how they work once they're on the other bars. This gas tank is decent. The inside has a little bit of light surface rust. I may run a fuel filter and just keep that one just because it's the prettiest tank that came with the bike. Side panels are okay. I have 3 or 4 different seats for this. This is a Saddleman seat. These shocks look to be period original. They're not great. You know, I'm sure they're good enough for a daily driver. But again, at the back of the bike, it looks like they've polished the wheels and repainted the inside. They've also even done the inside of the brakes. So at some point, somebody just got frustrated and tired with the project and threw their hands up. And so that's kind of how I ended up with this. But the cool thing is I have bins and bins of new parts. I've got 4 or 5 gas tanks here, and I may go, this is an LTD style gas tank. I may actually go to a KZ1000 style gas tank, which has a little bit more capacity, and it also looks more true to the form of the original Z1. So I'm not exactly sure, you know, which direction I'm going to ultimately go on this bike. But what I want to do is just make a really nice daily driver. and something that I can, you know, take to shows if I want. I do have several exhausts for it. I've got a Kirker that I may put on it. Looking on this side, it looks like it's got a brand new rear sprocket. It's got the new chain guard, or a very nice chain guard. And again, this, you know, this rear shock has some patina on it. But, you know, this bike is a mix of stuff that's been redone, like the paint on the frame and the swing arm and the stand and everything. And then, you know, they didn't, it's got some parts that just need to be addressed a little bit cosmetically. Nothing, you know, super huge. But I want to get this thing mechanically sound first, and then we'll go on and address more of the cosmetics. Okay, here are the two engines that came with the two parts bikes. And first things first, on this particular engine, it looks like I've got a stud that needs to be helicoiled or somehow fixed. I want to do it the best way, and then we'll put a new stud in that. I've also noticed a little the grounding nut right here is broken off, so that'll need to be taken out. I may take these motors to a professional shop and just have them looked over prior to installing them in the bikes. And like I said, I'll probably do one at a time and get one bike solidly running and solidly on the road, and then I'll also use that bike, once that's finished, I'll use the lessons learned on that one to complete the next one. So that's the plan anyways, and we'll see how it goes. All right, well, that's it for today. That's the wrap up on this KZ1000 project intro. I will be working on this off and on. I've got a lot of projects in the garage right now, so this one is going to get attention as I get to it. But I will keep you informed and keep the videos coming here on the channel. I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, enjoy the ride.